And good morning, everybody. I hope that you're having a happy new year. Yeah, seems like that share might be working. Well, I'm just getting warmed up, everybody. So let's call that 4, right? We want to do 50 of these, 50 ellipses every day. Get warmed up. Thanks. Well, I certainly hope um, that you just like do the ellipses, let them be your warm up, work out all the kinks. Interesting exercise that we were trying out with friend of the show, Mickey Schlick. Once we drew a bunch of ellipses, right, turned it down, started a new layer, and then we started to work out some really interesting types of shapes. So developing naturally. So I mean, these exercises, they could very well be just throwaway. But you never know, they might turn out to be something really interesting. I hope you like the music. It's a feature on this new streaming platform that we've been using, so I figured I would check it out. I have been busy doing tattoos and making artwork and stuff in the new year. I hope you have been as well. Hey, good morning, Kyle.
Morning, sir. How we doing?
Fantastic as well. There we go. Maybe there's a couple more like this inside stuff. Something like that. I don't know. No idea. So just warming up, right? I think it's important, no, I honestly have been, doing it like doing some warm-ups, just getting the blood flowing, like loosening up my wrists, getting my brain sort of activated, and then also, just stretching, right? So join me, everybody. If you're new here, we like to do some stretches, right? So pull your hand back a little bit. Don't overdo it. But yeah, hold it, stretch it, shake it out. The other way, right? Go towards yourself. And again, I kind of think, we do a little bit of warm up and then we do stretching. Not too much. Not too much, right? Other side. Like, you may draw with you may have one hand that's sort of dominant, right? I'm right hand dominant. That's the way I prefer. But when I tattoo, I gotta use both. I gotta use both my hands, both arms. I bet you do also. So, stretch them both out. Give yourself a little bit of care, right? You gotta care about it. That's good. Get warmed up. Stay warm. If this is working for you, be sure to let us know in the chats wherever you're wherever you're joining us from. We can check that out. So, good morning, everybody. And yeah, hey Kyle, good morning to you. How are you doing?
Not too bad. How about you, sir? How's life?
It's good, man. I was just mentioning, like I've been drawing like crazy, lots and lots of work to do. How about you? How are things with
Kind of like an artistic lull, just kind of taking a breather from it, just enjoying the holidays, spending time with family and stuff like that. Granted, I think I've taken a little too much of a vacation from it, so I've got to get back on, the track. Got to get back on habit. So, but yeah, artistically, I'm still doing good. But yeah, holidays good, everything like that.
Yeah. You?
Yeah,
You?
Yeah, they were good.
Excellent.
That 2023 self-portrait that you did, like the cover, dude.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it.
Really good, man.
I do appreciate that. It is something that I try to do it every year. I have been, it doesn't work out every year, right? But I think it's something that I've done for many years. And so these last ones, since we've been doing the show, we're starting a collection. And I'm hoping that, if anybody that's, anybody in the chat, anybody that, regularly comes on, if you did one and you want to share it, we'd love to see it. You could probably hashtag it, drawing for tattooers. I don't know if we'll catch it, but certainly Reinventing the Tattoo. You could post your self-portrait, Reinventing the Tattoo, and we will catch it. So anyway, let me show. Let me see if I can show my my portrait and
yeah, look at that, dude.
Thanks.
Killer.
No, I appreciate it. I do think. Let's see if I can make it a little bit brighter. Maybe. I don't know if that made a difference. It's like a little bit. It's a little mushy in some place. I used, I was blending it a lot. There was one time, Kyle, I think you were there. Bob Tyrell stopped by the Reinventing the Tattoo drawing group. He ran a really cool, he did like a demonstration and talked about like his process on how to draw a skull. So we were all like drawing these skulls with Bob Tyrell. It was awesome. Anyway, I showed him my drawing. He's like, "Why didn't you blend that thing? Why didn't you like make it a little bit nicer?" Anyway, I thought that was, that was like, it was good advice. It was one of the things that I thought, give it your best. You know what I mean? Try to do it. Anyway, what I think I was, there was something that did come out that I kind of liked, and there's a little bit of a difference in terms of like the textures, right? There's some contrast in textures that I thought turned out okay. So, if you get close enough, you can see the brush strokes, but some there's a little bit of a difference between all the smooth stuff, right, and then all of the there's some more roughness. There's some different focuses and things that I thought were that I enjoyed doing, but I have tons of criticism. tons of criticism, and I think it's really challenging, like trying to do like observational drawing, like digitally. I haven't quite cracked that. You know what I mean? It's it is there's all kinds of different variables that it's not quite, doesn't quite make sense to me yet. At least I'm really used to like working from life. Working from life, like a mirror, or like still life or a model in front of you or something. There's some other connection that I have with that. So working with digitally and with the photograph and stuff was certainly a little bit weird. But I had a lot of fun doing it, and I can't wait to do it again next time. Um, and I just hope that other people really, I'd love to see these. I'd love to see more of them. And yeah.
Yeah, it's rad. It is so
No,
cool.
thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Well, since I got you here, we're talking about like, I'm all boasting like I've been so productive and stuff. That's not true, right? Well, I'm always in an artistic lull.
Yeah,
Always,
I
right?
gotcha.
But I'm really glad that you said that too. I think that like it's very relatable, and that's the thing that hopefully that we're like trying to to work through together. People, maybe you watch the show, maybe you listen to it. Maybe you put it on while you're working, you're drawing and stuff. Anyway, love to hear about it. But yeah, so what do you do, Kyle, to get yourself out of these artistic lulls? Just curious.
I guess the best thing for me to do is just like take away my time suck things, like I've been sucker for like Minecraft and just like building, playing Legos basically. So I definitely got to step away from that and just really consolidate what the things that I can do, and just kind of focus on drawing. And the whole thing, I like it because it's just like start doing it. Just start doing it. Don't think about it. Don't worry about it. Just start doing it. And then 10, 15 minutes down the road, you start getting in that draw, the flow state, some people will call it, and then you just kind of start drawing and keep drawing and keep drawing. You don't have to think about it as much, so like the best thing for me to do is just cut out some distractions and put on some lo-fi, like the music that you're playing right now, and just start drawing, and just not stress about it, not think about it, not sit there and be like, like, gosh, I need to be drawing more, or think about this, that, and like beating yourself down type of thing, which I've done so much in the past, so much, and then just like to start off on a negative foot, where it's just like, oh, I have to draw, I need to draw because I haven't been drawing, type of thing that can personally can really feel me. So I just you're like, oh wow, and you put up a book that you can't put down, which happens quite a few times. So like just to get back on a schedule of just taking away distractions and just kind of letting your main source of dopamine and serotonin and all this stuff come from this, so that's where your attention wants to go. So that's kind of how I combat that stuff. But lulls will happen. Lulls need to happen. You got to take a breather from everything in moderation, even moderation. So I know that we need to spend a lot of time and effort into perfecting our craft, getting better at our craft, with a lot of studying, a lot of drawing, and a lot of trial and error and stuff like that. But you got to go sit on the beach sometimes, to kind of take a breather from it and come back at it with fresh legs and stuff. So that's how I do that. So what about you?
No, I love that. I couldn't agree more. Sometimes you need a vacation from your vacation, right? Like, it definitely is. It's probably real easy to beat yourself up because if you don't feel like you're meeting some expectation, that's going to be from you. You know what I mean? Like if somebody, even if somebody criticizes you and says like you're not working hard enough or whatever, if it's not coming from your own, super ego, right? If it's not coming from you, it doesn't even bother you. You know what I mean? But yeah, it is intrinsic, right? Inside it, and that's how you're. I think that's how you find that balance that you were talking about. Get into that, that flow state, which is interesting. It's I like the way you put it. You don't think, you just do it. You're being this conduit for art to happen. A lot of people throughout history have said it's, you know, the muses, right? The muse is this inspiration that comes, and artwork is born right out of this kind of relationship. So, right, are you able to have a relationship there? And, you know, you can't force these things, even though it's really easy to get impatient. I am like speaking from my own, you know, heart here. This is the way that I feel about it too. It's difficult to keep an even keel, right? To not be to be critical enough that you want to you want to grow. You want to, you know, continue to compel yourself to do it. You know, even though, right, it's so easy to go just way too far the other way, and be overly judgmental, right? Does that make sense? Right, you're like, you know, it's like judgment, you're too judgmental, right? Or you're arrogant. It's like, how do you figure out when you're, you know, right in the middle, right? Probably when it sucks, probably when it hurts, that's when but you persist, right? You endure it even though it's
100%. It's it's like the self-criticism, it's rough shit, you know. It's I don't know, I used to have that mentality of being over judgmental and over criticizing everything that I did, and I never really found the little victories, you know, like in my tattoos and stuff like that. It's like, oh, that I really did really good on that thing, or did really good on this, and you know, I could have done a little bit better on that, and I did that because, you know, I was impatient, this, that, and the other thing. And it's just like, I found like I was making shit progress. Like, I was not making good progress at all being like that. And to be able to self-praise in a healthy manner, not like, I'm king shit, you know. So to where it's just like, you know, I did good, you know, on that, and then it's just like, next time if I do anything similar, I want to do this better at it, you know. And I did the best I could. I tried stuff like that, and it's just, I guess, coming from like a healthy place of like, you know, I tried, I did my best, this is what it came out as, and regardless of what happens, it's going to be a lesson in stuff that I learned and stuff that I need to learn. So I have no idea if we're talking about the exact same thing. I think
I feel like there's a resonance here for sure, and I think in that would also include you know, including failures, right? Like, you know, failure is it's an integral part. It's necessary. Once it happens, right? Once you make, you know, if it fails, it's necessary that it happened, right? Because it did, and those are the things that are I mean, they're very instructive. And it is you know, coming to grips with that. It's going to be the thing that helps you again, just find that peace in the, you know, in the pain of it, right? And I guess I feel like if you're not, you know what I mean, if you're not, again, feeling that, then you're not looking hard enough, probably, right? I don't mean to be so this is meant to be like you know, solidarity, right? Or commiserating with each other. Like, yeah, it's shared, right? The pain, we do it, we make a thing, right? Now someday, every person that you tattoo, they're gonna die. You know, your tattoos die. And you know, all the books that all of the, you know, that you write, you know, all the you know, articles that are written about you and how great you are and stuff, those will all be lost, thrown away. And so why do we keep doing it? I don't think I have an answer necessarily, but the certainly like you were saying, you find that state where you can kind of just, you don't have to think about it too much, right? When you start thinking about thinking, not that it's not important, but it is, it's the other side of being there, doing it. So it's kind of like nothing. So
Yeah.
I like to have these conversations because I think there's something about this free association. We're just, colleagues chit-chatting about, this life that we've got going on, this artist life.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you're watching this, if you're here with us, you're an art person, right? You're an artist. There's something about it you find intriguing, and maybe there's some answer you're looking for. We ain't got it. You will not find it.
We ain't got it.
We ain't got it, right? There's no answer.
Yeah,
But there is this kind of commitment to, struggling through all of the these ups and downs. Where do you find your enjoyment, right? In like making the work, right? That's where it's at. You finish up a drawing, a painting, a tattoo, whatever, and then it's sort of like there might be a moment, where the tension is released and it's a little bit of pleasantness, but that's over. Probably where we enjoy ourselves the most is like in this, when it is tension of like, you're really like stretching yourself, you're pulling your hair out, you're trying to achieve something, a work of art, let's say, that again will fail in some way, right? The painting will fall apart, the tattoo will die, all that stuff. So yeah, I think that's the part that it's probably best just to get into that frame of mind where you're just making it, just letting things occur. So constant practice of learning things, experience, and then there's the doing. I feel like they're related, right, but different. You think? Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, we're well, if you're new here, this is what we do.
the other side of drawing, because it's like the mindset. It's part of the drawing process and shit like that. So yeah. So it's drawing for tattooers of all aspects, of all angles. Of
Totally. I want to say good morning because we got Creature's Cave joining us. Good morning, Creature.
Morning, Creature.
Looks like we've got Tattoo Now joining us. Good morning, Tattoo Now.
Morning.
So great to have you. Pop in those comments. Tell us where you're watching us from. We'd love to hear from you.
100%.
Well, this is it's a brand new year, or at least it's January at this point, and so I'm trying to come up with I'm always experimenting with this platform, like what it is that we're trying to do, and so I've come up with with a series of things that topics every week that I want to cover, and this week I wanted to show off my portrait that I made last time, and that's check that off the box. Wanted to catch up with my colleague and friend Kyle Olson. So again, it's check that out. Right, we did it.
Yeah.
We did it. But I think the other part that I feel like is so important here is like we are always thinking about concepts. We're always like I guess trying to make these things accessible, but not dumb them down, right? I don't ever want to dumb something down. I respect. This is respect, right? So accessible, right? and then interesting for accessible for beginners, right, and interesting for people who maybe have a bit more experience. Maybe there's something in this, the things we talk about, the things that we that we draw together from time to time that are they're reminders of things that you've already covered before. But it can kind of be like it can kind of be easy to like you said, get in that lull. Maybe like lull also includes like production, right? You're still producing, but you're kind of like it's like going through the motions too much, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It maybe it's like when you like you were talking about. I think there's a difference here. This is I am just sort of speculating, but when you are in this state of this being, right, and you're like you said before, you're not thinking. I know exactly what you're talking about, right? You're really doing it, but you're hitting all the you're hitting all the notes. Let's say that metaphor. If you can still hit those notes basically and be thinking about stuff too, you're thinking about everything else and things that might be going through the motions. Does this make sense? Right? You actually are thinking about stuff, totally distracted, but you're just doing it. I guess I feel like that's there's something that can be not the thing. I guess I don't know if that makes sense, right? Because certainly we've all felt that, right? There's a going through the motions, but how do you keep it fresh, right? And how do you keep it interesting to you, right? Because if it's interesting to you, then there'll be an audience, right? Somebody will really love it.
Yeah, that's like an interesting aspect of it, but I never, put the two and two together of like when you're going through like the lulls and you're thinking about absolutely everything in life, but you're still drawing, like, and drawing can be therapeutic. So like, are we like self-medicating while doing our job? Like, like doing our own personal therapy while drawing and working, and because that's kind of like the whole process of like I catch myself doing that like sometimes when I'm tattooing I think about other stuff while doing the tattooing thing, and I kind of get myself distracted from like focusing on what I need to be doing, like I'm just doing it like autopilot stuff, which I try to stay away from because I don't know, like because like I guess like in drawing I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna stop before because I'm just rambling on right now. Yeah.
No, I love it. I think that's it's important, and the things that you're saying are like they're honest and it's true, and they're again I'm drawing a distinction, but I don't think that it's not something that has to happen, right? It's important, and I think that was it really does sort of tie back to what we're talking about, like how do you keep going in a meaningless sort of existence, like how do you keep doing it?
like
what is going on? Why would you keep doing this? And yeah, so there's a bit this going through the motions, and then like finding that it happens where you're able to be sort of in tune with stuff, with the thing you're doing, and that is probably there's like, again, so we're talking about enjoyment, and then there's a moment of joy, happiness, right, that occurs, and it comes through that hard work, right? It's not something that again, there's this fleeting, you complete stuff, you get inebriated, you eat too much, whatever, right? There's all kinds of ways you kind of get to this, you chase it, maybe, right? It's like again, all that stuff happens, all that stuff is necessary, but like there are these moments when you really are able to experience something that's very genuine and true sort of happiness, but anyway, yeah.
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 Like you brought up before, like the whole like we are nothing but temporary, like and I get that and I understand that, so like definitely takes pressure off stuff, but doesn't take away the fact of like and enjoy what the hell you're doing. You know, like if art is your life's goal, then experience the lulls, appreciate the lulls, appreciate the good times, and understand the bad and stuff like that. Like it's all part of the process. And what else are we doing right now? So enjoy it. Perfect. Chisel yourself out of the marble. Make your David. And yeah. It's enormously daunting thing to spend your entire life on this one thing, but at the same time it's thoroughly enjoyable. Like all the little things that you experience, all the little things that you do, it's so much fun. And life's short, I'm gonna enjoy it. So does it suck sometimes? Yeah. Am I gonna fail? Yeah, but it's still fun. So but yeah.
No, that's why I love talking with you, Kyle. I think it's there's so much wisdom in what you said. So much. Can I say that word? I feel like, you know what I mean? It's my last name, and I feel like sometimes I feel self-conscious when I say it. It's weird when you go to the dentist office and they're like, you're gonna get some wisdom teeth taken out. Anyway, so my
I just got here. What are you guys talking about?
No, I just thank you so much for that. I really appreciate your it's very insightful. And so we have been having a great conversation, and what I'd like to do now is something that I do like to do, and that's share some information. And oftentimes we'll choose an author and we'll look at a chapter of, like, let's say, generally they're art books that we're looking at. All sorts of, many different streams of information that can inform us, right? And then, through that, there might be some knowledge that you can start to apply in practical ways. But of course, I feel like many of the things, at least at least what I'm going for, it's more about thinking, right? More about trying to give you insights into how you're like approaching stuff, rather than like how to. You know what I mean? And there's lots of how to. I enjoy how to. I really do. Like something that's just a step by step. Maybe there is something, you follow a formula. Maybe you do get something that's a little different every time. It seems derivative, but I do, I do enjoy that stuff too. What we are trying to do, I think, what I'm certainly interested in is, is really understanding, myself through this. Hopefully, you feel like you're understanding yourself, knowing yourself a little bit more, I hope. Anyways, let me see if I can share. Let me see if I can share my screen. I think I can do it. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Let me see. How does this look for you, Kyle? Can you see it? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks great.
Might be able to. Maybe. Well, anyway. So this is from a book. It's. Having a hard time controlling it. From Betty Edwards' drawing. What is it? Right side of the brain? The new drawing on the right side of the brain. Okay, maybe you've read this before or you've heard about this book. Um, I'm just getting into reading this one. Uh, I've heard about it for many years, so I'm gonna read it. Have an open mind. I know a lot of artists who really subscribe to the concepts in this book. I know there's also some criticism about like this is not exactly how our brains work, um, but I do think that the notions uh, they can be useful, right, and could be a good starting place. And then there's lots of really fun drawing activities in this book. So again, I'm gonna recommend it just as a any art book, probably worth a read. We're jumping to this chapter, getting around your symbol system, meeting edges and contours. And so again, I'm just reading the whole book, so there may be some concepts in here that are being referred to that would, given a little bit more context, like other chapters in here will make more sense. So if you return to this, there might be some stuff that's like that you find really interesting. So anyway, and I also like the fact that we kind of I looked at a drawing I did, let's call it last year. But anyway, this is we'll begin here. The author begins with we have reviewed your childhood art. Zoom in a little bit so those of you who are watching can read along if you like. We have reviewed your childhood art and the development of the set of symbols that formed your childhood language of drawing. This process paralleled the development of other symbol systems, speech, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Whereas these other symbol systems formed useful foundations for later development of verbal and computational skills, childhood drawing symbols seem to interfere with later stages of art. Thus, the central problem of teaching realistic drawing to individuals from the age of 10 or so onward is the persistence of memorized, stored drawing symbols when they are no longer appropriate to the task. In a sense, the L mode or left mode unfortunately continues to think it can draw long after the ability to process spatial relational information has been lateralized to the right brain. When confronted with the drawing task, the language mode comes rushing in with its verbally linked symbols. Then afterwards, ironically, the left brain is all too ready to supply derogatory words of judgment if the drawing looks childlike or naive. In the last chapter, I said that an effective way to set aside the dominant left verbal hemisphere and bring forward your non-dominant right brain with its visual, spatial, relational style is to present your brain with a task that the left brain either can't or won't work at all. We have used the vase faces drawings and the upside down drawings to illustrate this process. Now we'll try another more drastic strategy that will force a stronger cognitive shift and set aside your left mode more completely. Nicolaides' contour drawing. I've called the method of the next exercise pure contour drawing, and your left hemisphere is probably not going to enjoy it. Introduced by a revered art teacher, Kimon Nicolaides, in his 1941 book, The Natural Way to Draw, the method has been widely used by art teachers. I believe that our new knowledge about how the brain divides its workload provides a conceptual basis for understanding why pure contour drawing is effective as a teaching method. At the time of writing his book, Nicolaides apparently felt that the reason for contour method improved students' drawings was that it caused students to use both senses of sight and touch. Nicolaides recommends that students imagine that they were touching the form as they drew. I suggest an alternative possibility. The left mode rejects the meticulous complex perceptions of spatial relational information, thus allowing access to the right mode processing. In short, pure contour drawing doesn't suit the left brain's style. It suits the style of the right brain. Again, just what we want. So, kind of to try to summarize or to paraphrase what we're talking about, is this idea of like drawing what you see, right? Like we draw often what we think something looks like. This can be, I don't want to reject it all, entirely. I think there's a lot of usefulness in, developing an artistic language and having, some shapes and forms, that recur and become a a certain recognizable, they signify stuff, right? And I guess I'm thinking a lot about, like, say, American traditional tattooing, for example. There's a lot of sort of repeating symbols that don't necessarily look like naturalistic kind of, you know, we will use this term interchangeably, naturalistic versus like realistic. Again, just not to get into the weeds too much, like they really are kind of different things, but just so we understand, right? Like, we have like all kinds of stylized versions of stuff. So apparently, this is really what the author is really kind of talking about, is that like your left side really has a sort of fixed kind of way of going about things. So these internalized shapes that like we're talking about, they can prohibit you from actually looking and seeing, drawing what you see, as it were, right? So anyway, this exercise, I think is designed, is thought about to kind of overcome at least that tendency. All the right brain and left brain stuff, I'm not in a position to comment about it, but I do think that's certainly more applicable, is this kind of idea that it's very easy to draw what you think you see rather than to look, be more observational. Now, at a certain point, it is a drawing, and so you will have a stylization that occurs. It'll be riddled with with sort of inaccuracies, if you like, and I think from that emerges a style. But let's talk a little bit more about this exercise, and this might be something fun to. I think I will do it, and hopefully, if others do it too, we can check those out at some point. Anyway, so back to the text. Using pure contour drawing to bypass your symbol system. In my classes, I demonstrate pure contour drawing, describing how to use the method as I draw. If I can manage to keep talking an L mode function while I'm drawing, usually I start out with all right brain, beginning trailing off in mid-sentence after a minute or so. By that time, however, my students have the idea. Following the demonstration, I show examples of previous students' contour drawings, and so we can see these examples. So here's the things you'll need. Several pieces of drawing paper. You'll draw on top of a sheet and use 2 or 3 additional sheets to pad the drawing. Your number 2 pencil sharpened, masking tape, tape down your drawing paper to your drawing board, alarm clock or kitchen timer, about 30 minutes of uninterrupted time. So you can use a tablet these days, right? You don't have to. You can you can do it all different kinds of ways. But again, something to surface to write on, and something to write with. Draw. So what you'll do, please read through the following instructions before you begin your drawing. Look at the palm of your hand. Left hand if you are right-handed, or right hand if you are left-handed. Bring your fingers and thumb together to create a mass of wrinkles in your palm. Those wrinkles are what you're going to draw, all of them. I can almost hear you saying, "Are you joking?" or "Forget that." Sit in a comfortable position with your drawing hand on the drawing paper, holding the pencil ready to draw, and put the pencil down and take the paper to the prearranged position so it won't shift around. Set the timer for 5 minutes. In this way, you won't have to keep track of time. Then face the way around the opposite direction, keeping your hand with the pencil and the drawing paper, and gaze at the palm of your hand. Be sure to rest that hand on some support, and because you'll be holding it for another 5 minutes. Remember that once you start to draw, You will not turn around and look at your drawing until the timer goes off, right? So like you start off you can see your hand and you can see where you're drawing, right? And then the second 5 minutes, you're not look, right? Just like the illustration here, you're not looking at your paper, you're just looking at your subject, right? Your hand is the subject in this instance. Right, so here's the the instruction. Gaze at a single wrinkle in your palm. Place your pencil on the paper and begin to draw just at that edge. As your eyes track the direction of the edge very slowly, 1 millimeter at a time, your pencil will record your perceptions. If the edge changes direction, so does your pencil. If the edge intersects with another edge, follow that new information slowly with your eyes while your pencil simultaneously records every detail. An important point, your pencil can record only what you see, nothing more, nothing less. At the moment of seeing your hand, your pencil functions like a seismograph, responding only to your actual perceptions. Seismograph. I'm just reading the word. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Anyway, the temptation to turn and look at your drawing will be very strong. Resist the impulse. Don't do it. Keep your eyes focused on your hand. Match the movement of the pencil exactly with your eye movement. One or the other may begin to speed up. Don't let that happen. You must record everything the very instant that you see each point of the contour. Do not pause in the drawing, but continue at a slow, even pace. At first, you may feel uneasy or uncomfortable. Some students even report sudden headaches or a sense of panic. Do not turn around to see what you're drawing until your timer goes off. 5 minutes. Most important, you must continue to draw until the timer signals you to stop. If you experience painful objections from your verbal mode, what am I doing this for? This is really stupid. It won't even be a good drawing because I can't see what I'm doing, and so forth. Try your best to keep on drawing. The protests from your left will fade out of your mind, and your mind will become quiet. You will find yourself becoming fascinated with the wondrous complexity of what you are seeing, and you will feel that you could go deeper and deeper into that complexity. Allow this to happen. You have nothing to fear or be uneasy about. Your drawing will be a beautiful record of your deep perception. We are not concerned about whether the drawing looks like a hand. We want to record your perceptions. Soon, this mental chatter will cease, and you will find yourself becoming intensely interested in the complexity of the edges you see in your palm, and intensely aware of the beauty of that complex perception. When that change takes place, you will have shifted into the visual mode, and again, you will be, quote, really drawing, unquote. When the timer signals the allotted time, turn and look at your drawing. Right. So here's an example. You can kind of see it's a fascinating looking drawing, that's for sure. It doesn't seem to, really resemble a hand. I mean, perhaps, but it is interesting. I really feel like this was very, there was a lot of parallel to what we were talking about, Kyle, just in terms of the, you have this chatter going on in your mind all the time, and sort of forcing yourself to do this motion, right? Go through these motions. You end up kind of getting into a space where you're being there. You're kind of in a flow, as it were. This is the pure contour drawing exercise, and again, there's a lot more. There's a lot more to this book that I think would be it'd be fascinating. It'll be fascinating to read. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, that's that bit. So, if you're still with us, I guess I'm recalling a memory from our Monday night drawing with Guy Atchison was there, and he had us do a very similar exercise. We were interested in doing like a figurative kind of, gesture drawing kind of a study that time. But again, I know that he likes this book as well. And so I've had a lot of art teachers that have recommended this book. So it's about time to, to give it a look. So I'm really interested in doing it. All right, we got 5 more minutes. Kyle, do you got 5 minutes? You want to do this little drawing thing with me?
Sure.
All right. So as I recall in the reading, the author says, "Hey, you're probably gonna, like trail off, right? In speaking, so we can continue speaking until we become unconscious. But I feel like, what I'm gonna do is, let's see, I'm gonna share my screen again, so you can watch me do this terrible drawing. All right, it's it's in the spirit, right, of getting experience, and of course, like trying to really overcome this this sort of need to make not only make everything perfect, but to start to learn to draw what we see. So as I'm getting this all set up, everybody, yeah, this is your opportunity. Make sure that you get your paper and pencil out. I think there we go. I think that if you are if you're watching this live, you know what I mean, do what you can, right? Maybe you got your tablet out, you're drawing something. Take 5 minutes. If you are recording, watching this asynchronously, then give a quick pause, get yourself together. Okay. All right. So I think I'm just going to jump into it. I'm going to do the no look, draw my hand, and you know what I mean? Because let's. I don't think we can't do this for 30 minutes, but we can certainly do it for 5. So I'm gonna set a timer.
Do it for 30 minutes.
I know, well, maybe, yeah, we'll do it on our own time. Well, here, I'm gonna set a 5-minute timer. And so, and it's not going to be on the screen. You'll hear it, but you're not supposed to be looking at the screen anyway, right? Look at your hand. Get ready to draw, everybody. Let me. Okay, new layer, and I'm going to make it a little thinner. And all right, so get your hand, and you got to do like. That's you know what I mean. This is one of these motions. Right? Shit. Anyway, so yeah, that, and then you're gonna find one little spot. You're gonna focus on that spot, and then you're gonna move your eye around, and your pen will do the walking. And so I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna try to be honest about it. Don't look, and don't look, everybody. Ready to start, and go. Look at one little crease and try your best to move your pen at the same rate that you are looking. Oh, sorry. I looked. I can't rest my hand on my tablet. Let's try to get my hand up. I'm going to draw from the arm. I can't use the keep this pen in contact. Oh, Jesus. I'm not looking. I did glance just to make sure that I was making marks. But anyway, don't you look. Look at your hand, everybody. I really hear that internal voice saying, like, what are you doing? It's a waste of time. What is the point of this? But then I find myself just becoming really fascinated with this process. It's true of trailing off mid sentences, right? Just like she said. It's interesting too, like trying to play like a little game, like where do you look and how do you get? Oh, I'm off the page. All right, I felt it. How do you make your way around this object of your hand? I know I'm way up. Okay, I did look, but I did look, but I'm trying to keep the marks on the page. If you're on actual paper, you'll be able to feel it. Whoops, slipped onto the table, as it were. All right, it's been 5 minutes yet, Kyle. Well, I hope that either you're doing this with us or you're getting like a hearty laugh. But if you're doing it with us, we'll all get a hearty laugh at the end of it. You know what I mean? So, I know most of the drawing streams that I watch on YouTube and stuff, like it's some awesome artist and they're like doing so like it's like amazing drawing. It's so great. And then there's this show. I think if you lose your place, let's try to pick it up again. Retrace, right? Retrace your steps. I think the music's a nice touch.
It is.
Five minutes doesn't seem like that long on paper. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna give it a strong contour on the outside. Solidify this hand shape. That's time. We did it.
That was 5 minutes?
That was 5 minutes.
Are you fucking? Oh, sorry for the language.
I seem to have, for some reason, let me see. What's going on with my screen?
So, so I didn't realize, but I put my brush on white, and so I turned
fun.
around and I saw nothing.
Well, then change your background. Now change the background color.
I know.
Hold on a sec. Some kind of technical malfunction. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can share. I gotta share what I came up with at least. If you weren't watching it, you know what I mean. Like I think I may have had like a. I was so focused on doing it. I don't think I was. I don't think that I was sharing my screen very well. All right. Yeah. Action packed as always. Yeah. I guess I should have double checked. If this was working or not. Oh well. All right. Anyway, mine is so awesome. All right, here we go. I think I can share it with you. No, no embarrassment. Here's mine.
Booyah!
Hell yeah!
I like it.
Thanks. I really was. I honestly was trying to. You know what I can do? This is fun. I bet you I can do this. So that way you can watch this process. Oh, there was warm-ups.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
huh?
Oh, it was so fast. Well, okay, so so you start like, you start having really quick, but well, you were supposed to be looking at your own drawing anyway. You shouldn't, But yes, that's that exercise. Kyle, I hate to put you on the spot. Would you like to show yours? I'd love to see yours.
Yeah, let me see if I can bring it up in OBS. Might take me a second to put it together.
No worries.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what OBS is doing, so can I just do screen share right from this? Yeah.
Yeah, probably. You know what? So it's like this new software that we're using to stream with has so much there's so many.
You there, James? Bud. Goes this well, I am gonna try to figure out what is going on with my OBS while that is all going down. If you need to stop the stream, then go ahead and do so. I would like to know why OBS is not working. My virtual camera. All right. Well, I guess he's gone. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Unless James, you're gonna come back here in a minute. Yeah, no idea what happened. So yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. Appreciate you coming out. Hope you had fun. Any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to get a hold of us at reinventingthetattoo.com. I'm sure there's a great contact information. Oh, he's on his way. All right, cool. All right. Well, James is coming back, so I am on the spot, and I'm not having fun with it. I have no idea what happened. But yeah, if you haven't checked out reinventingthetattoo.com, please feel free to do so. A lot of information on there. Definitely a lot of learning courses. Their Monday night drawing groups are amazing. The shows that they do, James, Jason, they have amazing shows and a lot of resources. So definitely check them out. I believe Jason and James are both on Mondays. Oh, is that you?
I lost connection. So, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You were saying something, please.
Oh, no, I was just space filling. I was just talking about you and Jason and your guys' show. I didn't know what else to do. Like,
thank you. No, thank you so much for doing that. I missed your drawing if you showed it.
I can't get OBS to work. I don't know what's going on.
Hold it up.
Oh, well, okay.
Hold it in front of the camera.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it. So
let's see. Shit, that's like way better than mine. Oh my god, Kyle, beautiful, man.
Yeah, it looks like a bunch of carrots,
hand.
Bro. It's carrots.
Hand, way
It's
better.
not a hand, it's carrots.
the land of carrots.
Amazing. I just got one here. I got another one to show that Harriet Wisdom shared with us. Let me see if I can.
Oh, Harriet did it? Cool.
Yeah, here it is. Looks so nice.
I love the bracelet.
Yeah. Well, I think that it's it really does look much more hand-like than I was able to.
Can you hear me?
Oh, hey, guys.
Yeah, there he is. Good morning, Gabe. How are you? It's like we fumbled Kyle picked up the ball and ran into the end zone. Yeah.
I picked up the ball and didn't know what to do with it.
You did great. That was perfect. Anyway, great job, Harriet. Thank you for sharing this. For those of you, Harriet is a longtime friend of the show, and also my mom. Thanks, Mom. Appreciate it. All right, that's
great job, Harriet.
We did our drawings. We did our informational bit. We're really looking forward to an exciting new season. I think it's a season, right?
Yeah, a new
It's
year.
a new trimester, right? So I like
Yeah.
I like trimester, sort of breaking up the year to 3. Gabe, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing fantastic. I thought I needed to jump in to do some tech there, but you came back.
Well, I appreciate you. Good looking out. So I overheard. Go ahead. I didn't hear you.
I thought it was a great show. I always like listening in the background. I don't always like listening in the background. I take it back. That was a good show. No, I do almost. I always like it. Today was great.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah, good. No, as opposed to other days. But it's also.
I want to be like, just I want to be precise in my compliments. But I do like the idea of the different, segments and the themes, and we've got some in the back. I was just texting you. We should put Aja Lou's set in the background because
I love that.
At first I was like, oh, there's a little bit of background music, but then I was like, wait a minute, this is the canned stuff that sucks the soul out of musicians. No, I don't know. Maybe it's not that bad. I found myself tapping along to it. But let's get with Sandy and see if she's got a loop for you to put up in the library.
love that. I'm all for that. Thank you for the feedback, and again, it's this is always like something that it's nerve-wracking and then like exhilarating to do it, to get out here and to be out with without a net.
Well, there's more people watching now than there was when you started, so that's a good sign.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, well, but probably it's like there's still just as many like failures as there were in the beginning, but we're bouncing.
Well, they're a little bit bigger failures, and I was thinking about inside of the community. It would be great to get the streamers into the community, and that way I could post up different videos that have helped me, and we could, everyone could post up the videos that help. None of us are naturals at any of this, but the more discipline we get, and we have a lot of Paradise guests coming up too. Mm-hmm. So the invites and the sponsors and all that stuff is going out. So probably in about 2 weeks, 4 weeks, we'll start to have a lineup of a lot more guests, and I'm excited to also work with a format and get some panels together and get some different type. Again, send the guests here to do the drawing exercises and whatnot. And anyways, it's gonna be a fun year.
That's amazing.
Website's looking great.
The new Tattoo Now one, or
the Paradise, the Paradise that you put together. Yeah.
I just you saw the new one I just changed over yesterday, or?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Great. No, and Jake did the poster, which is awesome, and he put a lot of good thought into it. I think it's a very, it's all. I'm ecstatic to work with the graphics, and we have a lot of time, which is great. So we've got all the stuff's ready to go. So hopefully in the next week or two, we'll start getting the mentors. To that point, anybody that's still watching, let us know who you like, who you like to look at these days, or who's inspiring these days, artists or tattooers or anybody. And that's my next thing. I put up a little reel on the Instagrams. I'm like, let's I need to check out all the new artists. I'm in like check out new artist mode. So
let us know, Gabe, when is your show coming on next?
October 24th to the 27th.
That's the next Paradise Gathering. Write that down, everybody.
Yeah, the next Paradise Tattoo Gathering is October 24th to the 27th, 2024. TattooGathering.com to Kyle's point. And then there are tickets, and you can reserve your rooms. Don't reserve a condo yet, though, until I reserve the great one. There's one we got to get. But I take that back. Get the condos quick. Everything's going to sell. The hotel always does sell out. And now we're gearing up earlier in the year. This is still January now, so that's great. We're really excited.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
There's a scholarship.
There's a scholarship
fund.
Oh, the scholarship fund. Yeah, that was like, so for those of you who didn't have a chance to make it to the last Paradise last year, 23, it was pretty much the consensus that, that we want, there's a need for a scholarship for young tattooers to be able to attend Paradise and to get in on some of the really great seminars that are happening. So can you tell us a little bit more about that, Gabe?
Yeah, so all of the forums and all of the stuff will be up soon. But in short, there's going to be a scholarship fund, just to your point. There'll be an application so people can put in their portfolios and their situation, and we'll have, I think, a couple different tiers. Maybe we'll put together one package that's like, I don't know exactly how much we could do as far as like travel and stuff, but anything that's within our means, tickets to the show, tickets to different seminars, we'll probably have some hotel rooms. So again, we'll have maybe a couple different packets, maybe one like rate scholarship, and then a couple others that'll help with, again, just with tickets and with artist seminars. And then we have one donor who's going to match any funds that are donated to the scholarship funds up to $10,000, which is pretty amazing. And so we should have a good pool of money to help support the tickets for a bunch of scholarship recipients. So get ready, get your portfolios sharp if you want to come to Paradise. And you can't quite afford it or whatnot, then like I said, sharpen those pencils. Come to these online drawing sessions and whatnot, and might be able to get a scholarship to help get you to Paradise. Quite excited about that.
Yeah, it's a really great opportunity. So, yeah, I'm excited to.
I mean, all in all, it's not that bad, right? So a lot of people are apprehensive, but then when they realize they could get a condo and split it with 4 people, like half their shop or whatever, then all of a sudden it becomes. And there's a kitchenette in all of the rooms, so you bring a little bit of food, so you don't have to like eat out every day. It ends up being pretty, relatively reasonable if you make the leap. But with a scholarship, it'll help the people that don't have the ability to take that risk to get in there and know if you get your plane ticket, we'll cover, some of the other things.
So more on the Paradise coming up, right, in the coming months. But
we should probably get Jake to do the podcast circuit and tell everybody about it. And but I feel now I'm feeling self-conscious. I'm like, I see my couch in the background. I didn't do my hair.
No, you look terrific. Well, anyway, but also I wanted to ask you, what time and day is your podcast?
Oh, we do them Wednesdays. I'm trying to start to shift over. I haven't fully started it yet. I have a couple dates to set to record with Ivana, and then Paul from the that tattoo show. Although I can't believe I said that because Paul's been around fucking like he's a dinosaur at this. Did I say that? He's an old wise man on the cusp of being an old wise man. He's not old. I don't know. Point is, Paul Talbot and then Ivana and a couple other people are scheduled to do interviews. Again, I'm trying to set up proper formatting. So, and I've been talking with Fawn a little bit about their setup at Red Tree, and they're thinking about changing dates. So everything is still kind of shifting around a little bit. And but as opposed, there's also there's some sickness going around with some of the hosts and everyone. I didn't quite get my plan together for the first of the year, but I do now.
Yeah,
I used the GPT to cheat a little bit and schedule out some of the the tasks for the round table and. But
I think it's a tool, right, that we need to use. Again, it's not gonna. I think that using AI and stuff like you're saying can be very useful, but of course it doesn't take the place of you, right? You still have to be present. You still have to really sort of put your heart and soul into stuff.
And be careful to use it as ideation-ish,
right?
But definitely not for a work product. And there's 2 reasons. One is, the main reason is as a work product, it becomes a commodity. Create a Muka-like, event poster for the Paradise Tattoo Gathering, right? Like, now give me 5 versions of it, now expound upon one, right? Like that becomes all of a sudden something that anybody can do. So, but or not anybody, but also every search engine, every computer platform can do it too. So it's not unique. And so, as far as, if you have just copy that's written and you put it up on your website, search engines aren't going to dig it because they could just create that same content themselves. Now, if you create original content from a human perspective, then they will feed upon it and then use it as part of their generation process, which you may may not be down with, but the thing is, for me at least, if the AI is going to I'd rather have the AI take it and then the ethical ones source Tattoo Now as the source of that advice, as opposed to, not playing with it. Oh shit, hey Andre, how good? Yeah, Bruno, got a couple more people watching. Andre, people should definitely check out Andre Malcolm's channel there. He's doing a whole mess of dragons and he's streaming all the time. Check out Bruno's stuff too, of course. But forgot where I was going. Oh, with the AI stuff. But yeah, and again, part of me is like, I can't afford to pay an illustrator to make a YouTube thumbnail, right? But on the other hand, I also know that YouTube's going to know if the thumbnail is interesting and it's generated by AI, it's nothing original. But if people click on it and watch it and the content is good, that's ultimately what YouTube cares about. I don't know. I forgot how we got here, but.
Well, I think, throughout history, right, like, there's been all these innovations. Let's take, when photography became, more publicly available, right? Became something that people could sort of, get. Portrait painters got really upset, like, oh no, it's the death of art and stuff. You know what I mean? Photography it didn't, right? It didn't kill art, right? And then probably a very similar thing when Photoshop became so ubiquitous, right? Or 3D modeling programs. It's like you could easily look at those tools and see. You could say it's cheating or it's like it's wrong or something like that. If you really want to do it right, you'd get a chisel and a hammer and carve the marble or whatever, right? But again, it's kind of like to your point that you can absolutely be too dependent on it. It becomes a crutch rather than something that helps you soar. You know what I mean?
And we need to make sure that artists get paid, right? I mean,
totally.
For me, that's the roughest part. Is it's like to be able to go to give a Giger inspired back piece sleeve with these themes in a spiral vortex in a machine, right? All of a sudden it's like bam. Now I guess he's dead, but he's got an estate, right? Or Roger D, how do you make sure the artists are getting paid for feeding into this machine? And I guess if I was a tattooer using artificial intelligent generated reference, just like buy art, but make it a point to. Don't just say I'll buy some art from a living artist. I'll be like, actually just buy the art and try to wash your karma clean, because artists need to get paid. But on the other hand, again, like I said, I can't afford to go and generate 20 thumbnails that actually look cool, that would attract an artist to click on it so that they could watch my content, right? Now that said, maybe that's where we have to go with it, which is, I roughed it out with the AI, and now we look for tattoos and original art that fits the bill. Oof, I don't know.
I definitely hear it's definitely something it's here, right? And then so just to kind of put your head in the sand or deny it altogether is it's not right. But I mean, there's all sorts of really people put all sorts of value and importance on the work, the efforts, the products of other people, right? And so I think again, learning how to use new technology, new tools is so important, but but stay connected to doing the thing, right?
To that point, don't mean to interrupt, but to that point, like maybe the proliferation of AI-driven art as a commodity could drive up the value of real, actual art made by an actual artist, right? I could get a Geiger-inspired, banner in the background that's printed up that looks just like it, but then all of a sudden the art that's made by an actual artist, maybe the value of real art goes up. Maybe shitty artists actually have something of value because it's created by a human being and not this really intricate. Who knows? But
who knows? But it's amazing times that we live in. It's also very very dark.
Tattooers that are cash heavy buy art and use it as a write-off. It's one of the oldest, right? One of the oldest tricks in the book. $10,000s a pop to the artist. Watch that shit.
Love it. Well, so I think we're at our hour and a half. Please join us at noon Eastern time for Monday skill building drawing group hosted by Jason Leeser. He's moved to Mondays, everybody, and so it's
look at that. That's
amazing.
What I'm supposed to sit.
Go ahead.
So I'm just sitting there so you can see the cover up the couch.
Well, also it is this is Reinventing the Tattoo Network, and so we want to thank Gabe for all you do behind the scenes. Gabe, thank you so much. It's great to see you, and of course, thank you for the all the tech stuff, and all the efforts you put in behind the scenes that just doesn't get seen. And we'd like to thank Guy Etchison for being the founder and inspiration behind Reinventing the Tattoo and the Reinventing the Tattoo community. Thanks, Guy. Happy New Year to everybody. Kyle, thanks for joining us today. Great to have you. Thanks for doing the drawing exercise.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I look forward to looking more into that book. So
yeah, check out the Drawing from the Right Side of the Brain by Betty Edwards. It's a classic. It is a classic. Thank you, chat. Yeah, thank you, Mickey. Thank you, everybody, for for tuning in and for letting us know that you're here, that you're a part of this. Couldn't do it without you. So anyway, this has been Drawing for Tattooers. I'm James Wisdom. You can find me on the internet, Tattooing Wisdom. Join us next week, 9 a.m. Eastern, for another thrilling and inspirational drawing for tattooers. Anyway, happy drawing, everybody. Right? See you next stream. All right.
Definitely.
Peace. See ya.
Cheers.